Let me tell you something real, something most people will never admit out loud. Some of you are hungry, you've got ambition dripping out of your pockets, but you can't seem to move. You wake up with big dreams, but you go to sleep with unfinished plans. And deep down, you know you're capable of more, but something inside keeps pulling the brakes. I'm talking to you because I know exactly what that feels like. I've been in that place where the dream is big, but the fire feels small when your vision inspires you, but your actions embarrass you. When you tell yourself, tomorrow I'll start, knowing that tomorrow looks a lot like yesterday. And that feeling right there, that quiet frustration, that's the most dangerous feeling in the world because it doesn't scream, it whispers. It convinces you that you have time, that you'll get to it eventually, that opportunities wait for you. They don't. And you know that? Ambition without action becomes regret. And regret is the most expensive cost you'll ever pay. I've watched people with talent that could shake the world sit on the sidelines because they kept negotiating with their excuses. They kept waiting for motivation to magically show up. They kept telling themselves they needed the right moment, the right mood, the right conditions. But the winners don't wait for conditions; they create them. They don't rely on motivation; they rely on discipline, consistency, and the decision to get up when their mind says sit down. You think you're unmotivated, but you're not. You're overwhelmed. You're afraid. You're doubting yourself. You're scared of failing in public. You're scared of succeeding and being responsible for what comes next. You're scared of giving it everything and realizing the world doesn't cloud as you hoped. But let me ask you something. Is staying the same really safer than trying? Is watching time slip away really more comfortable than taking a step forward? Because that's the trade you're making every single day you delay. Listen to me, ambition is a blessing, but it turns into a burden if you don't move. The dream in your head is not waiting for you to feel ready. The life you want is knowing to walk up to your front door. And the version of you that you keep imagining, they're not created by chance. They're built by choices. Small choices. Daily choices, choices that don't look like much in the moment, but become everything later. If you feel unmotivated, here's what I want you to do. Stop looking at the finish line. Just take one step, one call, one page, one rep. One action that says, I'm not letting this dream die inside me. Because once you take that first step, you prove to yourself that movement is possible. And once movement is possible, momentum becomes real. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel inspired. You don't need the perfect conditions. You just need to decide. Decide that your future matters more than your comfort. Decide that your potential deserves more than hesitation. Decide that today is the day you stop watching life happen and start making life happen. You may be ambitious, but unmotivated right now, but that is not who you are. That is just where you're standing. And all it takes is one choice, one moment, one step to change direction. You already have the dream. You already have the dream. Now it's time to build the discipline, because once you do that, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. Ambition means nothing without the discipline to act even when you don't feel ready, because ambition alone is just the spark. It's that flash of excitement you feel when an idea hits you, that rush in your chest when you picture the life you want, the version of yourself you dream about becoming. But a spark without fuel dies fast, and that fuel is discipline, the daily, sometimes boring, often uncomfortable commitment to do the work no matter what mood you're in. People think success comes from passion, from inspiration, from waiting for the perfect moment to finally push forward. But the truth is, the perfect moment almost never comes. If you let motivation decide your pace, you'll move like the wind, strong one day, gone the next. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. There's a big difference between wanting something and preparing yourself to earn it. Ambition tells you the story of who you could be. Discipline writes the chapters. It's waking up earlier than you want to. It's saying no to distractions that look fun but cost you your future. It's pushing yourself to take the first step when your mind is full of doubt. It's doing the small, unglamorous tasks that no one celebrates. It's choosing progress over comfort again and again until that choice becomes part of who you are. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't look heroic. Most of the time, nobody claps for it, nobody notices it, and nobody praises it. But that's exactly why it's powerful. It's built in private, so the results hand can show in public. When you rely only on ambition, you get stuck in your head, you dream, you imagine, you plan, you talk. But talking about your goals never built anything. Planning without action never moved anyone forward. And you can rewrite your goals 100 times. Visualize your success every morning. And hype yourself up with all the motivational videos you can find, but none of it replaces actual work. Discipline is the bridge between the dream and the result. It's the decision you make when no one is watching, when no one is holding you accountable, and when staying still feels easier than stepping up. And the truth is, most people never cross that bridge because discipline demands something. Ambition never will sacrifice. You have to sacrifice comfort for growth. Yeah. You have to sacrifice excuses for consistency. You have to sacrifice the version of yourself that settles for the version of yourself that wins. Ambition wants success. Discipline earns it. Ambition imagines the top of the mountain. Discipline climbs it. Discipline holds you steady through setbacks, failures, slow progress, and moments where nothing seems to be working. It gives you the endurance to keep going when the excitement fades and the journey gets real. That's where most people stop. But if you keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep choosing effort over emotion, you start to separate yourself from the crowd, because ambition might inspire you, but discipline transforms you. The first step you take in discomfort is the step that separates dreamers from achievers, because that moment, right, when everything in you wants to stay safe, stay comfortable, stay exactly where you are, is the moment that defines your future. Most people wait for the perfect mindset, the perfect energy, the perfect timing before they start. They wait until fear leaves, until confidence rises, until the motivation kicks in. But life doesn't reward the ones who wait. Life rewards the ones who move while their hands are shaking, who step forward even when the ground feels unstable, who choose courage over comfort, even when courage feels too heavy to hold. That first uncomfortable step is powerful because it breaks the illusion that you're stuck. It challenges the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't start yet. It shows you that movement is possible even when your mind is full of doubts. It interrupts the cycle of hesitation and replaces it with momentum. Discomfort is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something new, something bigger than your old habits, and something beyond the limits you've carried for too long. Every achiever you admire has walked straight into moments of discomfort, but because they wanted to, because they understood that staying small felt worse than stretching themselves. Dreamers spend their lives thinking, hoping, imagining, wishing. Achievers spend their lives doing. And what separates those two categories is not talent, not resources, not luck. And it's the willingness to walk into discomfort long before they feel ready. It's the decision to act when the voice in their head says, wait. It's the ability to take imperfect action instead of chasing perfect conditions. Achievers understand that there will always be uncertainty, always be fear, always be reasons to delay. They don't eliminate those feelings, they move with them. That's the difference that changes everything. The first step doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. One phone call, one application, one workout, one page, one attempt, one action that proves to yourself that the barrier holding you back is not the world, but your own hesitation. Once you take that first uncomfortable step and something shifts inside you, you gain evidence that you can do hard things. You gain proof that discomfort won't break you. You realize that fear is not a wall, it's a doorway. And once you walk through that doorway, the next step gets easier, and the next, and the next. People think achievers are fearless, but they aren't. Their fear, they're just more committed to their future than their feelings. They're willing to look foolish, to fail in the beginning, to feel awkward, to be the beginner who doesn't know everything yet. They understand that greatness is always found outside the borders of comfort. And once you start taking those steps, even tiny ones, you begin to build a version of yourself that doesn't run from challenges, but rises to meet them. Because when you choose discomfort over staying still, and you choose growth over stagnation, you choose progress over perfection. You choose a life of effort, purpose, and movement over a life that never changes. And the truth is, the people who transform their lives aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who were bold enough to walk into the unknown, and disciplined enough to keep going even when it felt heavy. So take that first step, the uncomfortable one, the uncertain one, the one that scares you a little but excites you a lot. That's the step that builds confidence, that builds resilience, that builds identity. That's the step that tells the world and yourself that you're done sitting on the sidelines of your own life. That's the step that separates who you are from who you're becoming. That's the step that inspires others to rise with you.